Good morning, everyone. We are now here on Module 2, the major educational philosophies. In Lesson 1, we have the teacher-centered philosophies, and I am assigned to discuss essentialism. I am John Cornelius M. Lazarte from BS Ed Mathematics 2, your presenter for today. Let's have our lesson objectives. We have to analyze the essentialism on its different aspects such as nature, proponents, aim, or purpose, curriculum, strategies, role of student and teacher, and the assessment used. Let's have first a short review. What are the philosophical roots of education? These are naturalism, idealism, and realism. Naturalism, or the naturalist believes that the truth is only found in nature, while in idealism, idealists believe that ideas are the real truth. They believe that the truth of matter is nothing but just a mere representation of ideas, while in the realism, it is focused on the actualities of life, and the truthfulness of the physical object is dependent to the human mind. Now let's proceed to our topic, the nature of learning in essentialism. Let's first define essentialism. It can be divided into two words. The first word is essential, meaning extremely important or necessary or very basic, and its suffix ism, which means belief, style, attitude, and etc. Thus, essentialism means that a belief that something is necessary. The philosophy of essentialism began in 1930s and 1940s. It originated from idealism and realism. Based from our review earlier, idealism focused on that ideas are the real truth. Thus, it focused on strengthening the mind of the students and developing their character in order to prepare them for serving the society. In the same manner, realism do also prepare the students or the learners or the child by developing their character and teaching them the basic knowledge or basic subjects. Thus, we can say that essentialism is a philosophy of education with a primary aim for the learners to learn the basic skills such as reading, writing, arithmetic, and right values. It also refers to basic education, and it teaches basic subjects. Let's move on to the proponents of essentialism and the beliefs of the essentialists. Our major leading proponent is an American philosopher who introduced the philosophy of essentialism in education in 1930s. He was William G. Bagley from 1874 to 1946. He believed that education was not supposed to change society, but to preserve it. Thus, the reason for teaching the children is to prepare them to have the valuable contribution for the society in the near future. He also published Essentialist Platform that highlights the three major points of essentialism. These are the right of the student to a well-educated and culturally knowledgeable teacher, importance of teaching, the ideas of community to each group of students, and lastly, the importance of accuracy, thoroughness, and effort on the part of students in the classroom. Meaning to say that the teachers should not only be knowledgeable, but they should also be culture-oriented individual to help the students not only to imbue knowledge but also to shape their character by sharing the culture to them because culture helps one's per what culture helps to shape one's personality. And also teachers are expected to teach everything every necessary thing in order to live well in our modern day or modern world rather. In return, the students are expected to do their part in the classroom participation in order for effective learning to happen. Our another proponent here is Eric Donald or Ed Hirsch Jr. He published What Every American Needs to Know, and he noted that to be culturally literate is to possess the basic information needed to thrive in the modern world. Meaning to say, if an individual is culture-oriented person, it will make him prepared to face the things, or it will equip him or her everything that is needed in order to live in our modern world. Next, he also published Why Knowledge Matters. He quoted that only a well-rounded knowledge-specific curriculum can impart needed knowledge to all children and overcome inequality of opportunity. Thus, in order to provide equal opportunity and knowledge for children, the teaching curriculum must focus on teaching the basic subjects. Here is the summarized essentialist beliefs. We have here, essentialist tries to instill all students with the most basic knowledge, skills, and character development. Essentialist believes that students should be taught to be a model citizen. Also, essentialists believe that teachers should teach traditional moral values and virtues. Essentialists believe in mastery learning, and essentialists require that students master the skills required before moving on to more difficult material in another grade. Let's move on to the aim or purpose of educational philosophies of essentialism. The purpose of education. These are to prepare the students to be a productive, contributing member of the society. The aim of education is to teach the student the essentials they need to live in the modern world, and essentialists teach the basic subjects that we're going to deal with in the curriculum of the teaching curriculum of essentialism on the later part of the report. Now, why they need to teach, or why they teach? This philosophy contends that teachers teach for learners to acquire the basic knowledge, skills, and values. Teachers teach not to radically reshape the society, but rather to transmit that traditional moral values and intellectual knowledge that the students need to become model citizen. Now let's go on to the curriculum of essentialism. Essentialists first aim to teach the children the basic skills such as reading, writing, arithmetic, and right conduct. The main foundation of the essentialist curriculum was based on the traditional disciplines such as mathematics, natural science, history, foreign language, and literature. The teaching strategies applied in essentialism are: essentialist teachers emphasize the mastery of subject matter. They are expected to be intellectual and moral models of their students. They are seen as fountain of information, a paragon of virtue, if ever there is such a person. Meaning to say that teachers should have mastery and expertise in their field of teaching, and Being the term paragon of virtue is being one who is almost perfect or less mistake or commits less fault when it comes to moral or ethical values. Then, teachers rely heavily on the use of prescribed textbook, the drill, and the lecture method. They only focus on what is prescribed by the learning competencies or the learning curriculum. Now, these are some of the teaching strategies that the teachers adopt in the classroom. They use instructional strategies, they explicit mastery learning, they do lectures, memorization, and give homeworks, and in classroom, it should be teacher and subject centered. Let's deal with the role of teacher in essentialism. The role of the teacher is to transmit traditional moral values and intellectual knowledge that the student needs to become model citizen. To deliver clear lectures, stress on memorization and discipline, and explicit paragon of virtue. Then, on the other hand, the role of the student in essentialism is the student should be passive and be ready to learn what the teacher presents to them. The student should listen and learn. The student is to sit still and take in what the teacher is teaching. In other words, the student should trust the teacher that the teachers know what is best for them to learn. And lastly, the type of assessment used in essentialism. It is the frequent objective and performance assessment through tests. To sum it up, essentialism is a philosophy of education with the leading proponent, which is William G. Bagley, and it aims to instill students with the most essential and basic knowledge and skill and character development. Essentialist believes that the teacher should embed traditional moral values and virtues such as respect for authority, perseverance, fidelity to duty, practicality, and intellectual knowledge that is needed for the students to become a model citizen. The foundation of the essentialist curriculum is based on the traditional disciplines such as mathematics, natural science, history, foreign language, and literature. That essentialists was frowned upon vocational courses. In the essentialist system, it is required that the students should master first a set body of information and basic technique for their grade level before they get promoted to the higher grade. The content gradually moves towards more complex skill and detailed knowledge. The teachers, or the essentialist rather, believes that the classroom must be teacher-centered. Teacher must serve as an intellectual and moral role model for the students. And the teacher or the administrators makes decision on what is important for the student to learn with the little regard to the student's interests. Lastly, teachers also focus on the achievement test score as a mean for assessing the progress of the students. So these are the reference that I use for my report. Please access it for some other additional information. That concludes my report. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something from me once again. Good morning and have a great